What's happening, everyone? It's Richard here and welcome to On the Road with me. So basically, it's where we go about, we chill in the back of the Rolls Royce, we talk to entrepreneurs, celebrities, documentary creators. Oh, you alright, Gary? Yeah. I thought you lost the sauce there, bro. So yeah, today we've been talking about doing something for ages, mate.
Probably close to 2 years already.
Yeah, it's been ages. So I'm joined with the one, the only internet sensation, Mr. Kaz Milligan. Now, I personally have been a follower of Kaz's stuff for a couple of years. And like me, divided audience, you know, you get different responses, you know what it's like. But I am very interested today, and bear in mind, we're doing this off the rip, right? No pre-questions, no sending each other what we want to talk about. This is us just discussing, having a laugh, enjoying ourselves, and ultimately networking, sharing ideas, and hopefully inspire some people in the process too. So, I know a lot of you are interested in, you know, what's Kaz doing with his documentary, what's he doing with this, what's he doing with that. I want to find out more about your life story, because I don't think it's been, from what I see, right, I don't think it's been as simple as people might think. I understand you've had problems with, you know, party lifestyle and shit like that, so why don't you just give us like a brief breakdown, 5 minutes, on like who is Kaz Milligan? And I'm talking the real Kaz Milligan from inception. Who is the real Kaz Milligan?
Oh, it's a good question. I don't know where to start, because I could ramble on from birth till now.
But give us a 5 minute long version of your rambling, mate.
So, Kaz Milligan, 27 years of age right now, and I grew up in an area called Methil, so it's just
Methel's wild, by the way. I can attest that place is crazy, bro.
So but the thing is that, like, people for some reason think that I come for money, I come for a very nice place. It's like, for example, Ravy Davy, oh, you didn't want to mess with me, I'm a scheme boy. I'm like, bro, I'm also a scheme boy, do you know what I mean? Like, people just assume.
Can you do a moonsault though? I don't think you can do a moonsault.
I don't know what that is.
When Ravy Davy bounces on the ring and does a backflip, it's fucking impressive, mate. That is impressive.
That is impressive. I cannot do that. But it's just like, I don't know, people just assume I come from this like luxurious place. I'm from Methil, the shittest part of Fife, arguably. Grew up there. I grew up with 2 big brothers at the time, but when I was 11, I talk about this in the documentary, one of my big brothers disappeared, and that was probably the first traumatic experience I had as an 11-year-old.
What do you mean by disappeared?
He just left and never came back, and I've never heard of him since.
You know if he's alive?
He's alive. He's got. I've heard, like, I still hear stories like he's got a family and stuff. But
that's madness, mate.
Mental,
yeah, that's crazy, man. Sorry to hear that.
That's so good, man. That was like the first like traumatic experience I had, like as a kid growing up, and then went through school. Same as majority of people, hated school. Was a bit of a bam in school. Misbehaved.
What school did you go to?
It was called Kirkland.
Kirkland.
It's now knocked down. That's how bad it was. It got destroyed.
As soon as you left, he just didn't want to keep it. He's gone now, he's gone.
But I felt like I was misunderstood in school, obviously, like with the life that we've got now and the mindset we've got.
100%.
I feel like that comes from an early age where we understand that teachers also didn't have maybe even the knowledge, or back then, because it wasn't the modern day, what it is now, back then it wasn't like, oh, he might own businesses, he might be an entrepreneur. It's like, no, he's going to be a labourer. Mate,
do you know what, it's so funny you say that, right, because I had an experience in school. I went to Bellhouston Academy, south side of Glasgow, right, actually 5 minutes from where I live now. So when I went to school, I remember picking business studies at the end of 5th year, right? I ended up leaving and doing my apprenticeship, but I finished 5th year and I went, okay, I'm going to crash higher business studies, and I'm going to learn. I didn't know, I wasn't an entrepreneurial kid, I didn't do any entrepreneurial shit, right? But I thought to myself, right, I want to learn how to run a business so that even if it's my apprenticeship, I can go self-employed, I can do this and that, right? Little did I know business studies is teaching how to run someone else's business, right? My first day of business studies, sit down in the class and the teacher says, anyone got any questions? You know that way you do a couple of weeks of 6th year at the end of 5th year before summer holidays?
I left when I was like 50.
Right, sound, there we go. Fucking uneducated bastard, right? So basically you do like a couple of weeks of your new timetable before summer to get used to the classes, make sure you're happy with the choices. So I puts my hand up and says to the teacher, I'm like, miss, can you tell us? She's like, nearly 60, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you tell us, like, different situations you've had in business and what businesses you've worked in? Have you ever owned a business, sold a business? I'm just excited, Dragon's Den, watching fucking 15, 16-year-olds, right? And she's like, get out of my class. I'm like, what the fuck, right? So she comes out and she's like, I didn't study and get a 1-1 fucking masters in business from the University of Glasgow for you to come in my class. See, that moment, everything else she said I didn't hear. All I heard was, she has never had the business.
Yeah.
And she's maybe teaching me how to run one.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, understand, yeah, fine. I was lucky in some of my teachers, like my chemistry teacher worked for BP all over the world. Like, he was career focused before he went into teaching.
Yeah.
But like, mate, business is one of those things you just, to a degree, you almost can learn in an academic environment. It's very tough. Others, you can learn some of it to a degree, but it's not something you can't get the full scope, you know.
Yeah, so I would love to get some advice and pointers and tips for you, knowing that you're very successful yourself. But I feel like the best way to learn in business is just going out, experience, failing, fucking up, learning for that. But you need to be able to fail and be like, right, where did I fail? A lot of people fail and like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's knowing like, right, you need to be humble enough to be like, right, I fucked up. Where did I go? And you need to be driven enough to realise I need to do research on why I fucked up, where I fucked up, and how I could do it better.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I agree, business in school is bullshit.
See, when we're talking about like setbacks and failures and blah, 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 I can think of so many times in my life, whether it be preparing months and months for a fight, going out there, friends and family, losing in front of everyone, whether it be fucking trying to get a business deal over the line, getting your fingers burnt, losing money, whatever it may be. There's so many different situations, right? Is there a moment, like, you know when people talk about villain arcs, like, that was the moment my villain arc started, something changed me and made me think about the world differently, right? Everyone has those moments in their life, right? Is there a moment that stands out to you, whether it be a business deal gone bad, a moment in your personal life, something someone said to you, you went, actually, nah, I'm not going to be defined by that, and you decide, I'm going to change my mindset. Maybe you didn't have a plan, you didn't know what you were going to do, but do you have one of those moments like, that was my biggest setback, that was the moment when I knew I had to do something different?
Yeah, the memory that pops out the most is I lived in London for about a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's when I started, like, being in the fashion industry and stuff, so I ended up modelling.
It's your main business, right? It's fashion, stuff, like goods
exactly.
and stuff. Yeah.
So when I was 20, I just became single, I dived into Instagram, doing all that shit, right? And then a clothing brand for down London was like, oh, I would love for you to promote this, just bullshit ambassador stuff. But back then, influencers weren't a thing. This was 7 years ago.
Everyone's a fucking influencer.
Everybody's one now.
It's like, right, you get invited to German Donald kebab for a fucking free dinner. Calm the fuck down, you daft bitch, man. Like, fucking hell. Don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Fucking ridiculous.
That company, I ended up going down to modelling for them, right?
Oh, class, man.
So then he also says when I was down there, like, look, we need a creative director. I want somebody to help run the business with me, because he still had a full-time job. Like, while I'm there, you could work on it. So he was like, just stay here. Bearing in mind, I was minus in the bank, I had no money on me, and I had 2 changes of clothes. I was like, boom, yes, I'm here. Like, I'm not going back home, right?
That's a mega bit of dedication.
And I had nowhere to live, bro, right? So he was like, oh, we'll figure it out. So when I was down there, I was there for about a year, I either slept on his missus' floor while they were in the bed, because it was like a 1-bedroom with a bathroom.
Did they ever go at it while you were on the floor?
I don't know.
Did you ever get tagged in or that?
And if I never slept there, I slept in his grand spare room, and then if I never slept there, I snuck into the office and crushed up cardboard, right? So I was in London
That's crazy.
for a year, broke as fuck, but I just thought, I didn't know what a normal life, and I knew this was an opportunity to gain experience and stuff like that. So I was like, cool, let me run with it. So after a year, we ended up opening another clothing brand, and I was like gaining experience. I was running it, I was getting contacts, I was networking.
Are you starting to make money at this point now as well?
Slightly.
Like income, not like,
Minimum
I'm not talking
wage.
Big money, but like you're making bits and pieces of money?
Well, I'm just working for him at this point.
Okay.
So I'm no like...
You've got no share in the business at all, right?
So I was just on like minimum wage, maybe even under, to be honest. So we ended up going to New York for a photo shoot. I went to New York, like 90 quid in the bank for like 5 nights or a week or something. And then we had paperwork back in London for me to sign to have like, it was like 5 or 10% of the company or something, because it was like growing decently.
You're probably putting a lot of hours and a lot of sweat equity in at that point.
14, 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then we get back, we land in London from New York. He's like, oh, just jump on the train, go back, visit family. Jump on the train, I got a text. I didn't need you anymore. Businesses grew. Like, I didn't get the chance to sign the papers, like, nothing. Still broke as fuck, and I had nothing, bro. I was like, fuck. And at this point, I was like at pre-drink, still drinking and shit. I just looked at it, and I was like, fuck. Because at this point, I'm like, we've got so many ideas, we've got all these companies we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm messaging my dad saying, Dad, life's changing, like, it's cool, I'm making it, like,
Yeah.
you know that feeling that you get?
No, 100%, mate.
Like, when you first start talking about business and that, I'm like, life, finally, you get me? And then I get that text, I'm like, fuck.
Do you know what's worse as well, mate? See, on that, sorry to interrupt, but on that point, right? See this is your normal operational level, right? And you get bad news that brings you to zero,
Yeah.
right? That fall is horrible.
Oh, it's
but
horrible.
wait a second. See, when you're hyped up and you're above your operational level, you've got twice as long to fall to zero.
Yeah.
So the pain, the mental anguish, the fucking mood swings, whatever it may be, like if you have zero money and you wake up and you're minus 20 grand in the bank, you go, fuck's sake. If you went to bed with 20 grand in the bank and you wake up
Yeah.
with minus 20, that hurts even fucking more.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? The drop is even further.
Yeah.
So you've not just went from being, oh, I've got a chance here, you've went from, this is a life-changing opportunity,
Yeah.
to having it fucking swept out from beneath you, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
fucking brutal.
It was fucking shit, mate. So, got back to Scotland, I gave a couple of days to sort of like just process it. I didn't even tell mum and dad straight away, I was a bit embarrassed, and then they sort of says, you're not going back, are you? I'm like, nah, and I was fucking upset, man. So then that happened, and that was my point where I was like, fuck this. That's like
Aye.
savage shit, like,
Aye.
entered, do you know what I mean?
You
That's
turn
when-
into a demon, mate. That's the thing that I always say. People are always like, oh, Richard, like, you're, like, I think you're arrogant. I think you're, like, you're not a humble person. Firstly, I've never claimed to be humble, right? I don't particularly care to be, right?
Aye.
We're sitting in the back of a fucking double R just now, right? I'm not in the back of a transit van. I get it, right? But one thing I always say to people is like, oh, how many people did I piss off last year? I'm like, good. This year I want to double it.
Double it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and sometimes that aggressive approach from where you've been like so embarrassed, so beaten down, so like bottom of the barrel, it's like you're fueled on like hatred and
Yeah,
anger.
legit.
And by the way, that is, like it or not, it's some of the best fuel you
Yeah.
can ever get. Is see waking up every day and being pissed off.
Yeah.
Like I wake up and I forget like some of the niceties of my life, right? And I wake up and I forget. Not forget, but I'm so used to going out and having, oh, what car do I want to drive today? And my house is nice, and my missus is beautiful, my dog's beautiful, like, I've got such a supportive team in the office, all that kind of stuff, right? But I wake up pissed off, because I'm like, okay, why am I not somewhere, why am I not walking out to helicopter just now? Why am I not going up in my helicopter and going somewhere else? Why am I not going to Glasgow Airport to get on my plane to go to bring
Yeah.
out? Because as an entrepreneur, it's that constant dissatisfaction. There's always another level.
Yeah.
You can sit just now and, I mean, I don't know the numbers of Milligan, it's not my business, right? But you could be sitting going, yeah, we're estimating 450k this year, but like that's good.
Yeah.
It's fine. You would be like, that's a nice target. But at the end of the year, you're going to think, right, okay, well, how do we now get to 800,
Yeah.
900, break the million barrier?
yeah.
As soon as you break the million, it's like, okay, it's next, it's 5. Like, you never stop
No,
going.
exactly.
You know?
And like, speaking of that, all the, let's say, brokies, since we're
Yeah.
not being humble, right? Like the 95s and like just the haters,
Yeah.
right? They always say, oh, you're never going to be happy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, neither are you. Because listen, everybody, like all these like haters, right, that are working a 9 to 5 and they're a bit broke or whatever, they're always the first ones to say like, oh, you should be happy, blah, 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 like, why you wanting more? It's like, alright, cool, are you happy? Aye, I am. Oh, so if they offer you a wage rise, you're going to decline it?
Aye.
No, exactly, shut the fuck up. Everybody wants more money.
Exactly.
Everybody wants more money.
Aye, there's nobody in the world.
That's going to decline it.
Aye, it's just, and that's the thing that I think loads of people don't understand, is that yes, fundamentally, money itself will not help you sustain happiness. If I handed you 10 grand just now, would you smile?
Yes.
Of course, it made you happy.
Yeah.
But does that 10 grand sustain happiness for the rest of your
Nah.
life? Of course not, right? But the lack of money is the worst thing you can ever feel.
Yeah.
Right? See, when I was a wee guy, see every argument I heard in my house, every argument, I could walk in and my mum and dad could be talking about something totally different, like arguing about shit that you're just like, right, whatever. I guarantee you that argument started about that.
Yeah,
And I'm saying,
facts.
why the fuck did you spend that on such and such? Why the fuck, blah, 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 blah. Do you get what I mean? It starts
Yeah.
on the money. And see, as a young working class person, you're going to be conditioned to think, right, okay, well, if I have more of that, mum and dad don't argue anymore, right? And then as you grow up, you start thinking to yourself, okay, well, how can I accumulate more money?
Yeah.
Because you know the thing that I always say this, right? Success is a duty. It's not something you go, okay, I would like to be successful, or maybe one day I'll find something that makes me successful, right? Because I'm not leaving anybody's future up to chance. And what I mean by that is imagine my phone rings right now and I answer, it's my mum. Richard, I've just found out I've got stage 4 cancer. I need to go to America for an operation. It's going to cost 150 bags. What do we do? Right? 99.9999% of people in the world, the same people are going, money won't make you happy, Kaz.
Yeah.
The next thing they're going, hi Kaz, check the link in my bio, gofundme.com/save my mum's life because I've not fucking saved any money and I don't care about fucking making it. Right, now that's not fair on everyone. And by the way, anytime I see a GoFundMe, I'll put in fucking David Smith, donate fucking 300 quid, 500 quid, whatever, right? Because I don't, like you're never going to see a video of me and Harry will talk about this today, you're never going to see a video of me going up and giving someone, like a homeless person, money on camera. It's not my thing, it's not how I do it. Some people do that and that's how they spread their message and stuff, whatever, it's just not for me. But, so I understand that people are in situations sometimes where, at that moment you've not realised how important it is to have money. But for me, I'm not letting any of that stuff come down to chance.
No.
Like when it comes to the lives of people I care about and all that. Never mind just the cars and the clothes and watches and all, that stuff's nice. But when it comes to like, I think it's just being responsible, mate. It's just, it's being responsible. I don't know, is that an opinion you share?
I agree, 100%. As you say, it's like as soon as an unfortunate event happens in life, you need money for it. 9 times out of 10. What do you, in fact, let me hear your opinion on what Molly May said.
The 24 hours in a day thing, right? So I think she made a great point.
I agree with it.
Like an idiot, if that makes sense. Right? Molly May, I know you're watching this, so shout out whatever you're doing, right? You know for me, but shout out, right? And Tommy, you fucking chin dribbling weirdo, right? So I think what she said was amazing, but I think she said it very poorly. And also, bear in mind how you can clip anything and make it completely different, right? Everyone does have the same 24 hours in a day. Now, I am also not daft enough to say to someone who, let's say, cares for their mum. Their mum is terminally ill or they're in a position where they can no longer look after themselves. I'm not going to say, why are you not working harder on your business? Is it logical to think you could maybe spend half an hour here or there doing different things? Of course, but I don't understand that person's life. I've never been there. I'm not going to tell them to do that. But what did people want Molly May to do? Because every statement you make when you have a small amount of time is going to be generalist, right? Was she meant to sit there and go, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly vocalise some terms and conditions. If you are someone who's been through this, it does not affect. If you are right, if you watch that video and you get upset, broke.
Facts.
I agree. That's simple. If you watch that video and go, oh, I can't believe Molly May said that. I don't have the same 24 hours in a day. Do you know how hard it is to be me? I'm like, okay, that's fine. Go to fucking Tesco, do your shift, be quiet. Like, if you're truly offended by that, bro, I don't know. Hope is lost, man.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, when that whole Molly May thing was going viral, that's when I realised society is fucking stupid, bro. Because generally speaking, everybody's got the same 24 hours in a day. Basically, we could all make it. The majority of people moaning about it was like, oh, easy for you to say, I'm stacking shelves in Tesco. I'm like, and you're fucking privileged. You're earning more than minimum fucking wage.
Aye.
It should be the other people in the poor countries that should be saying what you're fucking saying and moaning about what you're moaning about. You're privileged. Do you know what I mean? Stop your fucking moaning. And then what you doing after Tesco? You're watching Netflix for 5 hours.
Mate, that's the thing.
Do you get me?
That is the thing.
Like, what she was basically saying is get back for your job and work and hustle. Obviously, unless, like what you say, is people's got people to take care of, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
We can't comment on that.
But those people understand that, right? Do you know the thing that fucks me off the most, right? See the cunts that would go in those comments, oh, but what about someone who has to take care of a sick loved one? See, if you ask any of them, do you take care of a sick loved one? No. Why are you speaking about the people that they don't give a fuck? None of them are saying that. It's like, you ever seen that video of the guy in the Mexican costume? And he's going up to people who are Mexican and saying, do you think my outfit's offensive? Yeah, this is offensive to Mexicans. And he asks like 10 different people that are like, that's disgusting, that's racist. And he walks up to this Mexican guy and goes, do you like my outfit? And the guy's like, I love your outfit. It's like, why are you being offended for people who can voice their own opinions?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
I feel like society now, right, the majority, it's got to the point where they want to moan that much. They're like, wait, I can't moan because that doesn't like relate to me. So let me moan for somebody else. It's like, just shut the fuck up.
Aye, it's so stupid, mate.
You didn't need to have an opinion on fucking everything, and if you do, you don't need to invoice it.
Yeah.
You didn't need to spread it over social media.
Aye.
Like, if it doesn't relate to you and you've not got an opinion, stop searching for one.
Aye.
Do you get me? Just scroll until you find someone else to moan about.
People are just so desperate to be heard, mate. Like, that's like people that, like, I don't know, didn't get attention off their mum and dad or something when they were a wee guy, I don't know. See,
Maybe.
like, going back to what you said earlier on, obviously that thing falls through in London, and by the way, just out of curiosity, do you know how that guy's business is doing now? Is that business growing?
None of the businesses exist.
Okay, and that is...
Yeah.
Without even having to go down that rabbit hole, we don't need to say anything. That makes sense as to why that happened, right? Yeah. So, that has happened, right? And obviously I understand you were kind of... You've told this story before, like, talk about being bad and, like, the party scene and, you know... I don't know, would you refer to yourself as like a consistent habitual drug user at that point? Would you say it was an addiction, or was it just that you just loved that party lifestyle?
I wasn't big on the drugs. Like, some people do it every weekend. I wasn't doing it every weekend, but I was dabbling into the drugs where I was just addicted to the lifestyle. Like, I was drinking, maybe going out partying maybe 4, 5, 6 times a week.
That's wild, mate. I think I'd go... I've been to nightclubs in total maybe 15 times in my life.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
So I was just addicted to that lifestyle because growing up I just seen, like, you know, people going out for lunch and then drinking, then the girls, nightclub, bottles, back home, sleeping up after sex, da-da-da. And then I just idolised that. Looking back, it's stupid, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like a phase that I obviously needed to go through. But that phase,
like, people have that,
drove me into fucking depression, and then I experienced anxiety for the first time. That was fucking terrifying. Like, everything I went through was petrifying. I was like standing up, looking at myself in the bed, sweating, like third person views, like like outer body it was fucked, man.
That's wild.
Like, scary. I would never ever want to go back to that. I wouldn't put up my worst enemy. It was like the worst time of life, bro.
And from that point, like that being like one of those, another super low point in your life, right? What then came about next entrepreneurially, right? Because obviously you've got Milligan Goods, luxury? Fuck it, I can't even fucking speak to it. Luxury clothing manufacturer you make, light goods, fucking t-shirts, socks, fucking, I see all the stuff you do, right? So was that the first business? Was Milligan something else previously? Like, what was, talk about your first step into the business world.
Right, so Milligan ultimately was my first business publicly. Like, we all like to make money on the hidden.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Before we go into a proper business.
Nobody will ever know everything I've got going on. Like, not one person will ever know that. Not even my family, my missus. Nobody will know everything that I've got going on. You know?
No, exactly. And then, so obviously growing up, and even when I was doing London, we were doing side hustles, like earning a bit of money here and there. But Milligan was like my first proper business, where I thought, right, fuck it, I need to do this and that. So I came back to London, and then I went back into party mode, fell into depression. That depression lasted maybe like 4, 5, 6 months, and that gave me time to like look back on all my life and like, right, this has happened, that's why I've got this issues, blah blah blah. And then that's when I realised, right, I'm starting to feel better, I've got another chance at life. I need to fucking try something. So that's when I came up with Milligan. I've got the experience, I've got the contacts. London served me well. By the way, the guy that like let me go and whatever, like, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be in the position I am now. He, like,
hindsight's 2020.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he gave me a mindset. He basically put me in that mindset. So I always give credit to the London experience and the guy that had me in London. But then I gone into Milligan. That's when I was like coming out the depression stage, and I was like, "Fuck, I need to do this." So
how long ago was that?
10th of July 2020 is when Milligan started.
Right. So you're approaching 3 years in business this year. Class,
July,
man, class. And this is something I always like asking people. Right, what was the response from your friends and family and your circle about you starting your first business? Because I find they get excited about the thought of you starting a business, but they don't get excited hearing about your business. And what I mean by that is, from my perspective, wasn't to do with my parents not supporting me, nor not believing in me or anything like that. If I had one benefit over everyone else that grew up where I grew up, out of 200 or 300 flats at our bit, 5 two-parent households, and we had one of them. we had by
Right.
far the best. My mum and dad, I could have said to mum and dad, Mum, I'm going to be a ninja astronaut fireman who does a little bit of assassin work on the side. My mum would have been like, you go and do that.
Yeah.
Now, when I walked out the living
Yeah.
room, she probably turned around to my dad and went, he's fucking off his rocker, that cunt, right? But she would have gave me that support
Yeah.
on the face of it. She'd never say, you can't do this, right? But what parents have is concern.
Yeah.
It's a concept I talk about a lot, right? I always say, speak your problems up the way. And that's not a religious thing. It can be if you want to take it that way, but it's not a religious thing in essence. It means that if you're sitting here, are you going to always speak to people on your level or below you about your bigger aspirations? Because see, when I would talk to my mum and dad about, say, my first kind of few property deals, and I'm just an excited young kid making money from these no money down property deals, thinking to myself, how the fuck have I managed to do this? This is fucking crazy. And I would go, yeah, mum, and what I do is I go and I meet the person, and then, you know, I make them an offer, then they sign this document, then I take this document to the solicitor and I do this and do that. That's way above my mum's understanding of, like, my mum and dad didn't own a house. Like, and I'm then putting this crazy spin on it, and my mum straight away, that just is alarm bell. She's like, are you sure you can do that? Is that legal? Is that allowed? That one seed of doubt, then I start going, I think so. Is it allowed? Well, I've got a mentor. He's helping me. Like, and then I just start shiting myself. Do you get what I'm saying? So they weren't saying, "Oh, Richard, you can't do that. Fucking whatever." But something I think it's very dangerous to speak to your friends and family when you first start a business. So when you first went, right, okay, Milligan is what's happening. Here's what, because I'm sure it's evolved 100 times in those 2.5 years, right? Milligan is what we're doing. This is what it's going to be. Did you do a big announcement to your friends and family? Was it something you kind of eased them into, and what kind of reception did you get from the people close to you?
See, it was just expected, I feel. Like, even growing up as a kid, everybody, I don't know, it sounds cocky as fuck, right? But just...
Oh, you? Cocky as fuck? Are you sure, mate? That's mad fucking... Look, groundbreaking news. BBC 24. Kaz Milligan cocky. Fucking hell. Water's wet and all, guys.
Fuck it, I'll be cocky, right? Like, I'm still no yet fucking globally famous or nothing, right? But as a kid growing up, everybody knew that I was going to be the kid that's going to be known, at least.
You're going to do something.
And eventually I will be fucking globally famous. And again, that's no fucking important in life, cool. It's just cool to me. I think it's fun. I want to be fucking famous, fuck it. Right? But I also want to make a shitload of money. So when it came to the business and stuff like that, it was just expected. Like, people were happy for me, but it was just like, it was just years in the making. Do you know what I mean? I was just that guy that hated work. Right, Kaz isn't going to work, what's he going to do? He's going to end up doing something. So it was just expected, and everybody was happy for me, everybody sort of supported me. I've just kept like my close circle, my day ones, and fair enough, like some conversations, like you say, I wouldn't go to them for, but they're always there to listen. They're like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're just very fucking supportive.
You're not going to them looking for advice. You're going to them looking just to speak and for them to go, cool, Kaz, I understand. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I would never go to my mum and dad and go, or certain friends of mine, and go, fuck, I was wondering if you can give me some advice on this. Like, they've never done what I want to do. This is the thing. Like,
and it's
so
not a
many
patronising way, like, oh, you didn't have a clue. It's just legit. You've just
no, it's just
no entered
factual.
that. Like,
do you get what I mean?
If you talk to me about welding,
my mum manages fucking like funds for the Scottish government now for like public transport and infrastructure. So she deals technically with like tens of millions of pounds. I couldn't tell my mum how to do a fucking job. Do you get what I mean? Is that because my mum's smarter than me, or I'm better than her, she's better than me? No, it's just that is not my area of expertise. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go and pretend that, oh yeah, I can add great value to that. It's just not what it is. Sometimes, like you said, it's good to be able to sound stuff off. But I personally, I'm very specific about who I speak to, about how I feel in general, and that's not like a toxic masculinity thing. Oh, men shouldn't tell people how they feel, and it's not a perception thing either. It's just I feel comfortable not telling people stuff like that. If I go into the office and I'm think about this, right? We'll go to the office. There might be an hour full bit between me, you know, Paul McFadden's my business partner, and stuff like that. My mentor, one of my closest friends. Like, in that office, we've probably got 20 people working every single day, right? I'm not going to go in there, and by the way, some people in there might be having bad days as well. I'm not going to go in there and spread negative energy. So I'm not going to go in even to Paul and go, oh fuck, you want to believe what happened last night? I go in, if I know that I have the capacity to work, do what I need to do, and I can do that without sharing any, why would I not do that? I don't need fucking attention for me feeling bad. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, that's why you'll be such a great boss and an entrepreneur and like a leader in your workplace. That's why a lot of people, they're not capable of being in the position that you're in your office, because they like to go in and moan. But you can't, as a leader, you're no meant to go in and put that negative vibe or energy to the people that are trying to build your business or help grow whatever the empire that you're building. Do you know what I mean? So that's just like, you've got that because you were born to be in that position. Do you get me?
Do you know what's funny, mate? You know, you're saying like it was expected and blah blah blah. This reminds me of something like in primary one. You know, you do the P1 nativity play. You know, and you do the nativity thing. I was Joseph in it, like and everyone always goes back to that going, you were Joseph in the nativity, like as if I was like picked then to like do something with my life. But it's just like, it's funny how they see the little traits popping out in people and that from a young age, and you think like, oh, that person could go and do something. And you know what, I see it now, like we've got hundreds of students that are like inside the Yes Academy going out and making their different moves, and by the way, in businesses sometimes that I don't even understand. I'm just there to help them with the general entrepreneurship system, how to think, how to look after their bodies, their minds, all that kind of stuff. And I'm seeing like kids, we've got people like 14, 15 years old in there, it's like amazing. Going and like I said, I wasn't naturally entrepreneurial. I didn't even think about business as a real until I was like 21 years old, right? And then it's funny to think that the process of from 21 thinking about it, within 4 years and 8 months from that point, I'm a millionaire, right? And now I'm on my track to multiple millions. And I mean, the way I see it and the way I'm projecting and my numbers, I'll be a decamillionaire by the time I'm 30. That's over 10 million, right? Net worth. That's where I'll be. Like, unless something strange happens, which by the way will not deter me, like you said. I'm not going to stop and go, oh, that's me, I've had my one chance at entrepreneurship, I'm going to fucking go and fucking work at some other place now, right? I'm going to keep trying till hit that point. But it's just like, it's so funny because you have those little those moments, those thoughts like, oh yeah, like I want to be entrepreneurial now. What can I do? What can I go and do? And what can I learn? And for me, obviously that was so new because I'd never thought that way before. I've kind of fucking lost exactly what I was saying there as well. I've been talking so fucking much, right? But see, in terms of obviously Milligan's coming up for like its 3rd year anniversary just now, right? So for the year of 2023, what does that look like? Depending on how much of it, because you might be working with different people behind the scenes, and there could be fucking brand deals going on and sponsorships and stuff that you wouldn't be able to speak about on here, right? I understand that. What are your financial goals for Milligan as an enterprise? Let's forget you for a second, which might be hard for you to forget about this already. So what are the financial goals for Milligan as an enterprise, as a business there? What numbers you want to hit? What are your big breakthroughs, your top 3 things you want to achieve with that brand this year?
Right. Hard. See, I would have preferred that question last year, because this year we're already nearly coming into February. I've still not dropped a new collection, because as of November onwards, I've purely been focusing on this documentary. And I know I'm not caring about views on the documentary.
We're going to get onto that in a second, but I've got a couple of questions about that.
Sweet. So, like, straight away, I'm not expecting the percentage growth that I've always been having consistently at Milligan, because I've got other focuses, I've got other ideas, and I've got another business that I want to also like kick off as well, which I'm sort of working quietly on now. So like Milligan is going to grow. Not as much as it did last year. It's still going to grow though, so I'm happy with that, it's cool. But I'm also going to be putting my focus elsewhere as well, because I feel Milligan, again, once you watch my documentary, you'll know it's almost served its purpose to me as a business.
That's an interesting way to think about it, actually.
Because, how can I word this? You understand being an entrepreneur. Milligan was obviously, it saved my life, right? Which you'll know about the documentary. It legit saved me. Without Milligan, I would not be here today, right? So, Milligan was also fun to me. Like, I was new to like a proper business and stuff like that. It's exciting.
Different.
Making money I've never made before. Do you know what I mean? I remember like my 2nd or 3rd launch day, I made like $5,000 in the day, and I was mate, buzzing. I was
see
like,
that no feeling ever beats your first 10k month. See, your first 10k month, right? Like, I was like honestly, I could piss myself excited when I'm looking at it, and you're looking at it, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then obviously, as you go on, you start hitting 100k a month and blah blah blah. It doesn't feel the same, mate.
Nah.
That 10k, that 5k a day, whatever. It's fucking mind blowing.
I know.
It's mind blowing.
And it was like, business was just so fucking fun to me back then, right? And it's still amazing now. I love Milligan, but now, when you start dealing with certain taxis and shit like that, which I don't mind. As part of business, I still enjoy it. But I'd enjoy it on a business where I know that's a business that's going to feed me and my family and shit.
Yeah.
Milligan started off as fun, and it saved my life and shit like that. So when it starts going to that, it's like, it's taking the fun away a wee bit. I know I've got all these different worries and all these. Do you get me? It's like it's a weird. Because at first when I started thinking to myself like, why am I not pushing Milligan like the past month or two? And I was questioning it. I was like, able to think about like, right, how did I feel like 2 years ago at Milligan versus now? Still love it. Still, it's my baby. Do you know what I mean? But it's entering a point of business where I would prefer those worries on another business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I want to start, like, I've got a business in mind that I want to start and want to tap into, where it will make good money, and I'll be able to sit down on the back end of business and focus on, for example, the taxis, the VAT, blah blah blah, and I just know that that's part of the job. But with starting Milligan, I'm designing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and when it came to the back end of business, when you start earning the bigger money, I'm like, really?
See, to be fair, mate, right, I get what you're saying, but I disagree on a couple of the points you've made, right? So, tax and VAT is a cost of living. It's life, right? So, even if the UK or the world imposed a 99% tax, and you want to be a millionaire, there's somebody out there who's going to make 100 million to keep a million in their pocket, right?
Oh, no, 100%.
So it's just part of what happens, right? Secondly, think of this as a concept, right? Imagine you're watching an orchestra, and the most important person singularly in that operation is the conductor, right? They're organising the orchestra, making sure everything goes sweet, there's no issues, right? Now imagine that person, when they're conducting the orchestra, let's say the violin player drops down dead for whatever reason. Do you think the conductor would put down, say they could play the violin, do you think they would put down, stop their role conducting to go and play that violin? Do you think they would keep conducting? They keep conducting, right? Because their operation, their role within that operation is to make sure that every part of that runs smoothly, regardless of faults, because they can replace that person, right? And make sure that it runs to a T to conduct that orchestra, right? So let me ask you, if you're the conductor of Milligan or any business in your life, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm not speaking to Kaz Milligan, chartered accountant just now, am I?
No.
Right? Why the fuck do you care about your fucking VAT bills, isn't it?
No, the thing is, like
I get a message off my team the other day, I was like, they were like, by the way, just for this month's stuff, for one of my businesses, we've had to take 14 grand out, put it in another account because we've got a VAT bill to pay this month. I was like, okay. Like, it's annoying. There is nothing more annoying than looking and understand you're paying this useless government. You cunts, Holyrood's round the corner. I was going to say I'll go and blow it up or something, but I may get arrested, right? But fuck you, Scottish government, you cunt bags, right? But there's nothing worse than that. I mean, you should be focusing on development, further products. Like, you look at the top end numbers, but don't even worry about, like, I don't understand tax, but I pay some fucking other cunt to do.
No,
the same way, these videos, I couldn't make these videos anywhere near. That's why I need this fucking cunt here to fucking, my creative director, right? To make sure that this shit runs, right? Exactly.
No, the thing is, like, I didn't mind paying tax. That's no the issue. Like, I'm fucking I'm one of the paranoid. I'm petrified for the tax man. Do you know what I mean? If somebody comes back, oh, we
you ever
could
had an investigation or anything?
Nah.
No.
So if somebody's like, oh, we could do this and hide this, do that, fuck that. Like, if that's what I'm doing, like,
It'll catch
that's
up
me.
with you, mate, like Shakira's, like,
That's what I'm
sitting there
saying,
with that
like,
big bow, man.
It just scares me, mate. So it's not really that, but it's just, I don't know, Milligan, I still love it, but it's just getting to the point where it's like, now it's like a business rather than a passion.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And that's important because I do want to make a shitload of money, so it needs to
You're
be
not going to
business,
be passionate about everything that makes you money, mate.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I want to create another business that I'm no fucking passionate about, which I know I'm going to work hard on, and it's going to be business. Cool, these numbers come in, blah blah blah, I need to be cool. Like, I want to focus on that, but I just like to keep Milligan fun and passionate. Does that make sense?
It's something that you're not, it's always going to be there, you're not going to put it down the pan or anything,
Nah.
but it's not going to remain your number one focus. Would it be fair to say that even just now, like today as we're speaking, is Milligan still your main income?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And would you say, and I mean you don't have to answer, I just like giving people metrics, would you say it's fair to refer to yourself now as like a multi-six-figure entrepreneur?
Six figure?
Yeah. Fair, mate. It's your first 6 figures the hardest, by the way. Like 100%. It's very, very difficult.
Solid, mate.
It's very difficult because the way I see it, right? Even if you start with $1,000, really, say you start with $1,000, right? $1,000 to 100,000. That's a 100x.
I started with 800.
800 quid, right? Let's just square it to £1,000.
Yeah.
£1,000, right? So you taking that to 100k that's a 100x. That's a big jump, right? Now it's very easy to go, yeah, it's just fucking numbers. 100k to a million, that's a 10x. By the way, there's so many other problems and headaches and hires and fires you need to make to get to that point. But fundamentally, in terms of a growth process, it should be on paper easier to achieve when you know how to manage expectations and how your operation actually works. And I think it's interesting you say that, you know, about Milligan being, you know, a business now and no longer a passion. And would you say, where's your passion going now? Is it going into stuff like creating the documentary, spreading your story? Like maybe just spend a couple of minutes talking about the documentary, because I'm seeing all, like, we followed each other for a good while now, right? Yeah. And I'm seeing all the fucking like adverts and the promo and this and I still don't know what to expect. I don't know. Me and you talk, and I still don't know what to expect of you when you fucking post shit. I'm like, I could be watching it. I'm like, fuck knows what this cunt's gonna say, right? Yeah. So, is that what your passion lies now? Is going to be creating that, spreading the message in a bigger way? Is it going to be this new business that you're starting to build, kind of behind the scenes? Like, and what is that documentary? What are you hoping to achieve with it?
So, like, just to start with, where's my passion is going to lie? It's still going to be in Milligan. Like, I still want to run Milligan. I still want to drop products. I like customers coming back, like, this is the best studio I've ever had, blah, blah, blah. That makes me fucking happy. The documentary, I've been very passionate about that. Just because, I've just legit got an email from my editor there. He's just sent over the final product, so I'll get it up on YouTube, unlisted, make sure there's no copyrights and shit. But that documentary is like, there's some minor faults maybe for like, do you know what I mean, somebody that works in film, videography, that they might notice, and I was like, should we fix it? But I was like, fuck, it's the first one. And it's just like, that documentary, I just want to tell my story. I'm treating it like therapy. Like, I don't care how much fucking views it gets. I would appreciate good feedback and maybe like somebody saying, oh, you could have maybe made it better via this, that, cool, I'll take that on board. But when it comes to like success of the documentary, I don't give a fuck. I'm treating it like therapy. I'm telling shit I've no spoke to family about. Like, there's just some things I wanted off my chest, and I'm not the type of guy to be like, maybe look at my family like, oh, I need to talk to you. Like, I didn't like, I feel a bit awkward and I'm a bit embarrassed and shit like that. Yeah. My way is just getting it out to the world. Do you understand? And a lot of people, like, you maybe seen it in the comments, who do you think you are, drop my documentary, oh, you're a nobody, blah blah. I'm like,
mate, you're not saying that fucking Channel 4's phoned you and said, can we make this about you?
That's what I'm saying.
You've invested your money, your time to tell your story, you know?
That's what I'm saying, and that's another, like,
documentary's a format. It doesn't mean that it's on fucking BBC. Do you know what I mean?
Like, that's what I'm also trying to push, is like, you do not need to be a superstar or a celebrity to tell your story.
100%.
And I keep saying that. I'm like, I'm not going to wait till, because I did offer it to TV. I've like, look, because I've got contacts in TV. I was like, look, I've got this idea.
Well, because you were on that. What was that TV show you were on?
Love in the Flesh.
Love in the Flesh. Yeah. What the fuck was that like?
Good experience.
Yeah.
It was funny, man. I did obviously, like, us being in business and that, I wasn't like oh, this is gonna make me. I was just like, this is gonna be funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's a brand builder and shit.
Do you know what I mean? It was just memories, bro. We've got one fucking life. People think we're having second turns of this. Nah. I want to do everything.
And by the way, if I get reincarnated, the shit that I've done so far, I'm coming back like a beetle or something. Like, I'm not coming back as like a 6'5" Adonis. I'm coming back as like a sloth or a caterpillar or something like that. I'm getting no good second chances, mate.
But like that, people really do think like they're just chilling. I'm trying to do fucking everything, man. If people think it's embarrassing, cringy, cool, I've got one fucking life. I want to do everything. Yeah. So it's like with the TV rejecting the documentary, I'm like, cool. I'm not going to wait until TV or other people think I'm valid enough to tell my fucking story. Yeah. So I phoned up my team. Let's get to work. And then that's what we've done, and that's going to drop next week.
Do you think that will give people a different idea? Because, like, I mean, I imagine when you go on podcasts and stuff like that, cunts want to talk about the whole chocolate thing and that. Like, I'm just like, it was such a good wee buzzword and it got you fucking out there and that, but like, Like it's see when I say it's not funny, I'm not saying like that's offensive. That's not. I'm like it's no good part. Do you get what I mean? Like it's actually unfunny, right?
Exactly.
So
like 3 years later.
Exactly, right, exactly. And obviously it was good for you because it was, like I said, it was like a buzzword and got so many eyes on you, and it was kind of, I imagine it was accidental. It's just your accent, mate, do you know what I mean? And to some people that might be a fried accent, but some people might think my accent's fried, like that's whatever. But do you think like this documentary is going to give people a totally different angle and idea of who you actually are?
They're actually just going to see that I'm a fucking human being. I've been through shit. Pardon me.
And are you ready for negative backlash just in case it comes? Yeah. Because you need to understand, like I always think to myself, like if one of like my close family die and I post about it online, someone's going to be like, "Fuck, you're dead, gran," or something. Do you know what I mean? I get
savage.
mad shit. Do you know what I mean? The internet's a wild place.
Exactly. Like I, for example, I was on another podcast in Belfast and I put up a clip of me talking about my biggest brother, and that was the first of me ever speaking about it, like him disappearing. And it's on my documentary. I just wanted to save it for the doc, but I was like, fuck it, I'll say it in the podcast. And I put that clip as like a promo for the documentary.
Because it's a big thing. It's not you just being brash. You showing a bit more of a human side to yourself.
Yeah, bro, all the comments. Chocolate disappeared, chocolate brother, and then people were like, if I was your brother I would have done the same, your brother dodged the bullet and shit. I'm like, bro, this is savage as fuck.
And you just need to roll with it, mate. It's part of building a personal brand.
Exactly, like, you need to expect it almost.
It's one of those ones that just it fucking happens. Here's a question, right? This is just totally random, right? I think Scottish rap music, that's shite, right? That's just me personally, and it's not about any individuals. I don't know any. Do you know who I really like? Bems. Bems is amazing, right?
Yeah.
But Bems is Scottish and he's English, so you can get away with it.
Yeah.
I hate. See if I'm sitting and I'm talking like this, like, alright, guys, in the camera. My name's Richard Dixon. Here's my new song. Oi, blood, diggity. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you fucking goony bastard, right? Now, I've seen through TikTok, obviously, because I follow your stuff, I get like suggestions of people who I think you interact with. What's the name of this, the Edinburgh rapper guy that like rapped about Jad?
Wait, rapped about what?
He rapped about like having like your clothes or something. Like he name dropped Milligan in one of his songs,
Jad.
right?
Jad.
So I don't know the guy, right? And Jad, no hate. I'm asking a question here, right? Tell me legit, is he a posh boy? He sounds posh.
I think. I don't know what to disrespect his background. He's
by the way,
fully Scottish.
Oh, is he not?
Nah,
right, cool.
I
was just curious because I seen it and I was like, he's so well spoken. By the way, that doesn't mean you're not allowed to be a rapper, but I'm not going to confine him to that. But I was just like wondering, I was like, is he like a posh boy or is he just a well spoken scheme boy? Do you get what I mean? Because people have those misconceptions about you, or Kaz got money, I've got money. I could be getting it totally wrong. I was just curious. Like, I was just like, I don't fucking know.
Where's his mum? I'm sure. Is it, I don't know, India or something?
Really?
He's
Bro's white as snow, man.
That's what I'm saying. Is it? I don't know, bro. I can't even remember, but it's no like UK, and then he ended up. He's been all over the world.
Did you ask him to drop those lyrics, or did he just drop? You asked him to.
I don't know. That's cool,
man, that's amazing. I was expecting you to go, nah, bro, it fucking came me begging for a tea or something. Like, I dropped it. So, that's class, bro.
Jad ended up messaging me.
He gets good views, by the way. Like, he's got good traction.
No, actually, I really enjoy his music because he ended up coming to me, bro, years ago. He was like, I'll pay you for some promo, like, put on your story. I was like, cool. And we've just sort of stayed in touch ever since, but he's a legend, man.
That's class.
But he is a wee bit of push.
But that's what I was thinking, like, that's his way of fucking expressing himself. But I just wanted to know, do you know that way? I wanted to know, is he posh or is he like a well-spoken scheme boy? That's my only question.
He is a push boy.
That was it. Now, what does, minus the documentary, and obviously you're in a new relationship and there's loads of stuff just going on in your life in general, right? What is your, I always talk about making a big bold promise, right? And how, especially as a man, your words should carry weight. Like if I say to someone, bro, if you say that to me again, I'm going to smack you, and they say it to me again, I have to smack you. Because next time you know that my words mean something. I'm not just saying, oh, if this happens, I'm going to do that, right? What is you're speaking to yourself, just imagine you're looking in the mirror. What is your big bold promise for 2023 to yourself? And also, I will remember it, and if you don't achieve it this year, I'm gonna like fucking smack you in the head or something, right? So
you need to smack me in the head.
There we go, deal, right? I'll smack him in the head for sure, right? So, what is your big bold promise? Like, if you were to achieve one thing this year, Like, what? Obviously, you're going to achieve a lot more than that. But what is your number one main goal for 2023?
I don't know. Usually, like resolutions that I should.
Resolutions is fucking stupid, right?
But
Nobody sticks to
I
them.
came into this year wanting to start another 2 businesses. So I just want to start 2 new businesses and see where it goes for there. I've not got like mad. Oh, I want to make this amount of money, or I'm going to be pissed off at myself.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to start 2 new businesses, and just because I know if I start 2 new businesses, I've never managed more than one business. It depends if you consider Kaz Milligan a business, because Kaz Milligan makes money.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kinda,
aye.
but I mean, like,
but that's
corporate
also your
businesses.
existence.
Yeah,
Do you get what I
exactly.
mean? That's you living and just being alive as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
So I've never like managed more than one business. Like, it's just always been Milligan. So I wanted to. I just want to see how I got on managing more businesses. I know I'm going to pick up more skills. I'm going to gain more experience. I'm going to get new contacts, because I want to dive into other industries. Like, all the contacts I've got is mainly in the fashion industry. I've obviously got contacts like yourself outside the fashion industry when it comes to business, but it's mainly fashion, and I just want to expand my network. And I know by opening 2 businesses, all of those skills, all the contacts, they're all going to come back to me.
Yeah.
So that's like one thing I'd want to do, start the 2 businesses. I'm like quietly working on one now, so see where that takes us, and then
I've got one last question for you, right, before we wrap up. If you were like CEO of Scottish TikTok and you could ban one person from Scottish TikTok for life, they never get back on, who would it be?
Who would it be? I don't know. Does it mean taking food off their plate though?
Nah, you're not. I mean, I'm of the opinion, like, fuck your kids, but I don't care about your kids, right? But just pretend it makes no, just because you can't be arsed listening to them, right? So you're not, if the person's living as TikTok, you're not taking the living away from them, right? So you're fucking Molly Maying it, mate. You're fucking thinking too different, too fucking far in. All you're doing is just banning the person off the platform.
Right.
You never need to hear their shite again.
Oh fuck, Scottish TikTok. It would. Ravy Davy.
Is it Ravy Davy?
It needs to be.
The Fresh Prince of Drummoyne Square?
It needs to be.
You know what?
No, I don't know, because I think he's funny sometimes though. Like, I didn't hate Ravy Davy, and he doesn't hate me.
By the way, I like Davey. I think he's fucking brand new. Davey's a nice
funny.
guy. And by the way, I kind of always knew you guys never disliked each other. I don't know, he might dislike you, I'm not sure. But I like always got the idea that it was you guys, because he's into wrestling as well, and wrestling is a lot about your personality, your character and all that. So you don't think you said that prematurely, that it's not him. For me, it's Lee Sutherland for sure. Or that Scottish Declan.
Oh,
Scottish Declan's brutal, bro.
I agree, but probably that Scottish Declan in fact.
Yeah,
but then it doesn't come up like on my TikTok that much.
Nah, neither, because I blocked him.
Fair.
So
fair. Oh fuck, I don't know, man. I didn't scroll that much.
Nah.
Who would it be? I'd do everybody a favour and take
Right.
me on.
Have you ever have you ever heard the 3-2-1 rule?
What's that?
Right, if someone gives you an option, an ultimatum, whether it be a yes, no, or a pick this, and you go 3, 2,
2,
1,
1,
go. It's generally 9 times out of 10 going to be the most honest answer, right? So I'm going to do it to you just now, right? Would it be Ravy Davy?
The first name that comes to head,
That's a fucking shame, mate.
But then I'd feel bad because I think he's funny, bro. But he's the only name that's going to come to my mind.
Well, there we go.
I'm trying to get you the TikTok clip.
Ravy's got the ban hammer now. That's a shame, fucking hell, man.
That is a shame, innit?
Right.
Fuck him.
Closing words. Is there anything you want to say? Anything fucking whatever it may be? Because
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
I'll get you some TikTok clips. If you were to box anybody in Scotland in the social media world, who would it be? And would you box if the opportunity came?
Only if they had combat experience.
Right, fair.
Because it would be unfair.
Yeah.
That's not me saying that I am some elite world level fighter, but it just wouldn't be. It's not right of me. If I was to box one person, are we talking TikTok or social media?
Any?
Boxing someone that I actually think I would get a dash out of, not someone that I'd just like to club.
Like the contract's laid on the table. There's your money, there's your opponent. It's realistic and it's happening August 2023, sign it. What name is on that contract? Who's your opponent?
Milligan.
people always ask me if I would fight. People would message me like, please Leatherhead and all that, like, do us a favour. Honestly, now, I'm trying to think of who I think has made a cunt of themselves, or who's like stepped at a line. Right, if Lee Sutherland wasn't a fucking fat cunt that can't fucking read or write, it would be him for sure, right? And I don't mind his content, by the way. He just has something against me. I don't know what it is, right? But in terms of someone that's a bit more realistic, fuck, that's a hard one, mate.
Is it? Because I didn't think there's that much.
Yeah, because I don't really have any beef. I
creative.
don't have any beef with anyone either.
It could, but would there need to be beef? Or would you
Nah,
just do
but
business?
by the way, also, if the offer's right, I don't have to want to fight someone to do it. I don't have to dislike someone to do it. Like, if someone came forward, like, I'm neutral, let's take someone like Mark Hamilton, for example. I don't care about him. Like, I've spoken to him before, obviously had those issues with business thing and whatever, right? Like, that's nothing to do with me. Like, if someone came to me and went, Richard, if you're free this Saturday for fucking, I wouldn't even need much, mate. Like $5,000, I'd be like, yeah. But also I know I'd win that.
Yeah.
That's just me saying I know I'd win it because I know I can move, mate.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? But I don't. There's not really anyone, if they were macking the weight, that I would, if I got offered good money for it, I would say no to, because there's no one I have beef with. There's no one I go, oh yeah, that fucking mate, if the price was right, I'd fucking fight you as well, and I know you would fight me if the price was right, because if it was about money, you'd fucking do it. Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
So yeah, that's a tough one, mate. But no one sticks out to me. Like,
Nah.
like no one really sticks out. Do you know who I would like to see fight though? Right, not specifically two people, but one person I'd like to see fight. You know that boy, that Detweiler?
Aye.
Mate, he can move, by the way. He can move,
Innit?
and he's fucking. I think he's got it in him, mate. Like I think he's like a genuine hard cunt, and like I would just like to see him box, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think he can shift.
Yep.
He would be entertaining to watch, but I
agree.
think I also think social media boxing's dead, mate.
Well, as in you didn't like it, or do you think business-wise it's just
business-wise
shit?
it's dead.
Do you think?
Because remember, I was going to put on an event, and I looked at it, and I was like, that would not make money. Because see, everyone thinks the audience is going to convert in a big way, and it never fucking does, mate.
I honestly think if we put on like a serious full event
You think
through
so?
Scottish creators, I think it was it. Like,
Aye.
because Scotland's no got it, bro. Like, what? Down in England, KSI's got misfits, and fair enough, they're superstars, right? But Scotland's no got it. So, what are you doing this Saturday? Fuck all. Alright, let's get tickets and watch a bunch of
Aye.
Scottish gimps punch fucking each
Yeah,
other.
maybe.
They're gonna go watch
Maybe
it.
Gimp wars. Just all fighting each other.
That's how they look at us, isn't it? Just Scottish gimps online.
Yeah.
Batter and fuck at each other. I think it will sell, bro.
I don't know. Maybe we'll try it. I might fling some
Let's
money.
do it.
You want to organise it and I'll put the money up
I'll
against
do
it.
it. I'll help
Fuck
promote it
We
and
can do
market
it.
and that.
We can do it. So any parting words? Any wisdom bombs? Anything you want to give the people? Obviously tune into the documentary. What days it drop?
The documentary, 1st of February.
1st of February. So we're only a couple of days away.
Exactly.
It might even be, by the time this video comes out, it will be out, by the way. Yeah,
right,
so
sweet.
we'll
So
fucking
go watch
it
the
on
documentary.
YouTube.
But I just want to say to everybody watching, man, like, stop giving a fuck what other people think. They genuinely do not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, they might comment, they might hate, they might judge. 10 minutes later, they're on Call of Duty or beating their dick. They do not give a fuck about
Or
you.
beating their missus.
So, please, if you've got a dream, if you want to go make money, whatever it is, put down the controller and go fucking work. Go make shit happen. Go get money for your family that's coming in the future. Go make money for your parents. Do whatever the fuck you want to do, man, because if you're going to continue playing Xbox, you're going to get fucking nowhere. And then you're going to be 40, and then you're going to have financial issues, and then you're going to struggle to get your Christmases, like your kids' Christmases, etc. Go fucking work. Message Richard, get in the Young Entrepreneur Society, and make fucking money, man.
Boom. There we go.
Cheeky plug at the end for you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. So this has been good, man. I think this has given me a lot more insight into you as an individual as well, and I think it will give whoever's watching this, you know, even, by the way, this is not me saying that you're going to convert anyone, right? But people might watch this, even if they don't say it, they might just look and go, actually, I've got newfound respect for that guy.
Well, that's-
I've heard that, I've
yeah.
seen a different side of him.
I'm not
you know?
expecting this documentary for people to support me and like me.
Yeah, of
But I
course,
know
of
if
course.
you watch it, you at least respect me.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
Class, mate. I like it.
Sweet.
Thank you for coming on. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me, man.
There we go.